Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of MINDFLEX. My name is Courtney. I'm an elite level sprinter and co-founder of MINDFLEX, and today we're going to take a dive into one of the most underrated tools in sport, and that is recovery. Now here's the truth. Training breaks you down and it's recovery that builds you back up again. Without it you cannot adapt and you will break down and see gaps in your training and your performance, and eventually you will flatline, plateau, get injured or sick. That's why it's so important to nail your recovery and have recovery as a consistent thing into your training program. So as an elite athlete myself in the sport of sprinting, I have learned the hard way that recovery is so important when it comes to high performance and being able to perform and achieve things to the best of your ability. It is just as important as your gym session, your track session, your field, your court session. It's just as important as any of those things, and recovery should be something that is included every single day. Now, I'm also a remedial massage therapist and a run coach, and I can see firsthand where people are missing recovery tools and not quite getting the most out of their recovery, and that's kind of a gap in their training and it's a gap in their performance. I also see how firsthand recovery helps an athlete perform, stay injury free, and just get the most out of their training. So when we train hard, we get these little micro tears in our muscles. That's where, the strength and the regeneration happens. But in order for that to happen, you need to recover. We also deplete our glycogen levels. This is all placing stress on your nervous system. If you've got a really stressful environment or your nervous system is at a heightened state all the time, you can see where you can break down and there's gaps in your performance and you cannot sustain that high performance level that you need to. Now, recovery is where all the magic happens. It's where those little tiny muscle tears can recover. It's where you can recover mentally, physically, emotionally. You can restore your energy sources and just fill up your cup again, recharge your batteries. Now, this is really how you get faster, stronger, fitter. You need to recover to be able to get those little gains in your training and get to that high performance level. It builds resilience as well as strength, speed, fitness. A lot of people think that, you have to be physically strong and physically recovered to get the most out of yourself as an athlete. You also need time to replenish your energy stores and your mind. Your brain needs to recover as well. It needs time to rest, it needs time to settle, it needs time to just be still. If you're fatigued or under that high stakes, stressful environment all the time, it can impact your reaction time, your coordination. You can be fatigued, you won't be as agile, you won't make decisions as quickly as you normally would. If your mind is tired and your brain is fatigued, then your body will follow. It follows suit, and that's kind of the way it goes. So if you are mentally rested and recovered, then physically you will feel so much better. So let's start with something that I think is often overlooked a little bit and not utilized as much as it could be, and that is sleep. Now, sleep is the foundation of recovery. It has come a long way in the last few years. There's wearable trackers now that can track your sleep, track all your health metrics, and give you a bit of detail and data on how your sleep is going and how it might affect your performance. Sleep, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful recovery tools that we can have. During deep sleep, growth hormones are released, which then drives muscle repair and regeneration. Most athletes need at least 8 to 9 hours sleep, and there's a lot of research that shows that elite athletes perform better with little naps during the day. So as much as it sounds a bit funny to nap when you're an adult, it's so important, and there are a lot of athletes now who nap during the day and it's part of their training routine and schedule. I treat sleep as my training session. Same time every night, same amount of hours, same routine. Everything is routine based and structured, and that's how I feel I get the most out of my sleep routine and my training session. If my sleep drops or I have a restless night, I notice it the next day, and I notice that I'm just not quite alert, I'm a little bit fatigued, my body feels a bit tired. Just because I need sleep doesn't mean that you need as much sleep as me, but there is a lot of evidence to prove that sleep is very helpful in recovery and high performance. So the other really important tool, foam rolling, active recovery, mobility, stretching, trigger pointing, all of that fun stuff. In season, I dedicate at least a very minimum of 30 minutes to stretching, rolling, trigger pointing, doing my prehab, rehab, ice bath, active recovery in the pool, just anything that's going to help me recover and feel better the next day. So foam rolling is really good for tight muscles, tissues, and loosening those things off, feeling a bit more limber, a bit more mobile. It's kind of like your massage therapist on hand. So if you can't get to your massage therapist or your physio, your foam roller is your best friend. And when I'm in season, my foam roller comes everywhere with me. And then you have your stretch bands or your spiky ball, which are good for trigger pointing and releasing and stretching out your muscles. And then also, if you have Normatec boots or you haven't tried them yet, I do recommend that you have a go and find them at your nearest recovery clinic. Normatec compression boots are really good for circulation and blood flow. It's kind of like a lymphatic massage, so you kind of get that compression and then it lets go and it squeezes and lets go. You can also get attachments for your arms and also your abdominals and your core, which they are also really helpful, especially if you're an upper body athlete. For example, I know swimmers use the arm and shoulder attachments a lot, whereas for me, I'm a runner, so I use the leg one. At the very minimum, I will try and at least get into an ice bath at either my recovery center that's closest to me or the ocean or pool 2 to 3 times a week. I sometimes use a sauna. It depends on where I'm at in my training sessions and my training schedule and where I'm at in my season, but saunas are also really good for active recovery. Even if you're feeling a bit fatigued and down and you're feeling like you're getting a bit sick, saunas can help you out there too. Essentially, I'm trying to say that recovery is not just something that you have and you might use and do every kind of few days. It's something that I believe should be in your training program as part of your non-negotiables, and it should be utilized and structured into your weekly training program. And then there's active versus passive recovery. Active recovery is good for flushing your muscles, getting all the tissues and the tendons and the muscles to be a little bit looser, less tightness, feel a bit nicer. Passive recovery restores your energy and calms your nervous system, which is great for your mind. Elite athletes need both, and they both go hand in hand at helping them perform to their best of their ability. After a really heavy, hard, fatiguing training session, you might just want to do some passive recovery. So just kind of chill, get your mind a little bit calmer, do a bit of meditation, sit in a bath, magnesium salts, anything like that that's going to just calm you down when you're not having to use your body too much. After competition, you might want to do active recovery, so you might want to do some foam rolling, walk in the pool, stretching, trigger point, all of that stuff. Both can help your performance and keep you injury free and less fatigued. So both have their pros and both are needing to be used in different ways at different times of the week and different times of the year and season. Another big thing is fueling your body. So that's nutrition and hydration. And it's kind of like a car. If you don't give it fuel, you won't go anywhere. It just stops, it breaks down. Knowing when to fuel your body, at what time after a training session or before or during is so important. I always like to have a pre-training snack, and that's always a banana and then something sweet. And then I will have some caffeine during my session, maybe a little bit of lollies, and then after my session I always try to refuel within 30 minutes. That's just like a protein shake, a banana, a smoothie, chocolate milk. You want to get your hands on this pretty quickly because then it will help with the recovery and the repair process, so restoring your glycogen levels and repairing those muscle tissues that have been stressed and activated during your session. If you delay it too long, or you don't fuel your body or replenish your cells after you've trained, then you'll feel it the next day. And I know that if I don't get something into myself straight away within 30 minutes, if I have a late afternoon session, then the next morning I feel fatigued, I feel a bit sore, and I just feel like I need to get more food into me. So I feel hungrier and I'm really looking for those carbs. So it's so important just to grab something, even if it's a chocolate milk from the service center, grab it, put it in your body. Carbs, sugars, good for you when you're repairing your cells and after a big heavy training session. Hydration is also super important. In winter, we forget to hydrate. We just forget to drink so much water. If you live in a humid or hot climate, you'll drink more water. So the more dehydrated you are, the more it'll affect your performance. That's why I make a really conscious effort to take my water bottle everywhere. I aim to drink 1 to 2 of those bottles before lunchtime, and then I can feel that I'm good and I'm ready to go. At least I know I'm fueling myself and hydrating myself well. And then you mix it with a bit of electrolytes as well. I use Infinite Nutrition. If you haven't already found a hydration mix that sits well with you or that you like the taste of, make sure you check out Infinite. One other thing that I want to clear up is that recovery is not you being lazy. Some people assume that if you're doing a rest day or having a recovery day that you're lazy. That is absolutely not the case. If anything, it's the opposite. It has the opposite effects. An athlete who does not have a recovery day in the week will definitely be under more stress and fatigue than one that does have a recovery day and a rest day in it. You can often see things like burnout, getting injured, sick, ill, all of those things that if you don't have a rest day, it'll kind of creep in quickly and it will creep in a lot more and you'll have a lot more injuries, a lot more sickness, a lot more fatigue feeling. You need to recover and have those rest days or down days where you actually allow your body to just rest. Rest days and recovery days allow your body to train and perform to the best of its ability. It allows you to train harder for longer, and without them, we would find ourselves not being able to train as hard for as long, and the quality of the session will be decreased. If you want to have a long career in whatever sport you have chosen, then you need to make sure that recovery and rest is included in your training program. It's a non-negotiable. Everyone should have at least one recovery day in their program to just be able to chill and relax, because at the end of the day, you are a human and you do need downtime and you do need to rest. There are a lot of apps and wearables and all of those types of things out there now that you can track all your wellness, your hydration, your nutrition, your recovery, your training program as well. Utilize those, journal, write things down. It's so important to actually write things down and talk about how you felt after you have had that training session where you fueled yourself really quickly after, or you did a bit of foam rolling, or you went in the ice bath. Everyone is different, and just because something works for me, that does not mean it's going to work for you, but it's about finding the right tools and the right recovery methods that are going to work for you. So I can't stress it enough. So just to finish it off, training breaks you down and recovery builds you back up. It's not an optional thing. It should be a non-negotiable thing, and it should be something that's structured into your daily routine and training program. It's the foundation of long-term success in your sport. As a sprinter, a coach, a remedial massage therapist, I see it day to day. Recovery is so important. It's the thing that separates the good athletes to the great athletes. Athletes who recover less or don't have a lot of these recovery strategies, they will perform for a shorter period of time, whereas those who actually put the recovery into their training program weekly and daily, they will boost their long-term success in their sport. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want long-term success in our sport. We don't want quick, short bursts of success. We want to see it across our entire career. So elite athletes out there, don't think of recovery as a lazy thing or something that makes you weaker than others. Think of it as a performance booster. Think of it as a performance strategy and a tool that you can use, and it's at your hands to get the most out of yourself as an athlete and to better yourself. Because if you can get your recovery right now, you can help yourself and boost yourself as an athlete in years to come, not just for tomorrow. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you got something out of that. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would like me to talk about and touch on from an athlete point of view, and also let me know if there are other recovery strategies that I have not included that work for you, because I'm always open to learning new ones. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.